Welcome to Art Blog on Location with me, Anthony King. Today we're going to visit the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, France to take a look at Claude Monet's The Saint-Lazare Station. It's a wonderful painting. He painted a series of 12 and some of these paintings are my favourite paintings. We're going to be visiting London's National Gallery, Paris, and we're even going to go to the original station itself and have a podcast from the station so we can see how it compares. So make yourself a cup of tea and let's go over to the Musée d'Orsay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paris in a few moments. We will arrive at Paris Gare du Nord with this train will turn.
Standing in front of Gare Saint-Lazare. This version is very much daylight. It hasn't got the same darkness of some of the other versions, especially the version in the National Gallery. It's got beautiful colours, greens on the tracks, creating the reflection of the sun through the ironwork. We see the shadows, very broad strokes for the roof. Magical piece. I do prefer the National Gallery version, but this is beautiful. Not a lot has changed from 1877 to today. It encapsulates the spirit of the area. We do see the steam, we see the machinery, which isn't dark, it's not black, as you would expect for a locomotive. Very much use greens and reds on the machinery, which creates the impression of what he actually saw rather than what the imagination saw. But my impression of this is the use of colours. Reds, yellows, green. This is also much bigger than the National Gallery version. And also I would say that the ironwork of inside the roof of the girders has a more metallic quality in this version. And we see the smoke rising right to the top of that roof, and he accentuates that with a use of the colour white. It looks like it was a beautiful day when he painted this, sun shining bright. Another thing is the use of blue in the central locomotive, very bright blue. This is a colourful piece, it captures the impression of the buildings perfectly. Today it's a lot of musical shops, violin shops, cello shops. If you walked along that building right now, you would see violin makers not too dissimilar to 1877 when Monet painted this. It hasn't changed as much as you would think in the 150 years or so. He signed and dated it 1877, Claude Monet. And this is more towards the left side of the station. As we face out, he moved to the centre of Paris, back to the centre of Paris, just to paint this series. It's beautiful that the girders, the ironwork along the top, it disappears behind the smoke, but also disappears completely. If you notice that the ironwork does not follow all the way from the left to the right as it would in real life, but it disappears. If he would have carried it on from all the way to the left to the right to the roof, then it would have overpowered the painting. But the way he's done it, again, it captures the impression of being there without the detail. I want to thank you for listening, and I'd like to encourage you to check out the website anthonykingblog.com. Join me on Twitter, Facebook, and see you next week.